Shalom Yasharala Yahweh. Brother Malak, back with the biblical lesson. This one is titled 1,000 Year and Beyond. 1,000 years and beyond. I'm a man of many gifts and talents, but there's nothing like the gift of prophecy, the gift of prophesying. 1,000 years and beyond. This is kind of a double dagger, if you will, because you have you got Israelites. Old Testament only. Old Testament only Israelites, man. They don't believe in the New Testament, and because they say that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai is false. They say he didn't exist in the Old Testament. And that's how you know these individuals are not well learned in the scrolls and the scriptures. Because if they was well learned in these scrolls and these scriptures, they would know. They would know Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is all throughout the Bible. He comes in the volume of the book. And the scrolls literally say he comes in the volume of the book. And as a matter of fact, I could grab some more precepts, some more scrolls on the different times that he's mentioned in the Old Testament. But I'm only going to grab these. It says Numbers, or this one per se. Numbers chapter 24, verse 17 on down. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. And there shall come a star out of Jacob, the 12 tribes. Technically 13, the tribe of Dan, but 12 tribes. It says, in a scepter, which means rulership, authority. A scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. It says, in Edom, Esau, Edom, shall be a possession. Mount Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Amalek. Oh, Amalek. Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And that's the biblical prophecy. That's the truth of the truth. Nothing but the truth. So even then, you have Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, in the Old Testament. And he's really throughout the Old Testament. He makes cameos all throughout the Old Testament. So you Old Testament only Israelites, you're not going to be saved. You Old Testament only Israelites, man, you're not going to be saved, man. It's looking bad for you guys. It's looking bad for you guys, man. Looking bad for you guys. Let's grab, I needed to remember them a little more, but it's better to have it written than not. Where is I'm shy. We go to Psalms. Psalms, let's grab some. Psalms 22. Psalms 22, 16 through 18. Psalms 22, 16 through 18. Psalms 22, 16 through 18. So, Psalms is the Old Testament, precept upon precept. So let's go into some more. This is a double dagger. I'm really going into the forever kingdom, but at the same time, I'm sending out a dagger to you, Old Testament only Israelites. You only believe in the Old Testament, you know. You see, you hear, can you conceive? You got people that say that Yahweh Shai was just some figure. Yahweh Shai was just some regular figure in that time. He doesn't have any importance or any great measurement in these scrolls and these scriptures, and that's far from the truth. And then you have some idiots, men and women, when we're out there preaching and teaching that, you know, they say idiotic things such as he's not even in the Old Testament. He wasn't in the Old Testament, but y'all believe in the New Testament. The New Testament can't be accurate. The New Testament is false. And that just shows you that these people are not in the scriptures, man. As the scriptures, as the scrolls state, study to show thyself approved, rightfully dividing the word of truth, etc., etc. It says, Psalms 22, 16 on down, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is yet found in the Old Testament. It says, for dogs have compassed me, and the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. That happened on the crucifixion, right? When Yahweh Shai was crucified. It says, I may tell my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. That happened, right? Didn't that happen when Hamashiach Yahweh Shai was crucified? They they gambled his garments. This is all predicted. This is all foreshadowed in the Old Testament. Psalms 22. It says, but be not thou far from me, O Yahweh. My strength hasten you to help me. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. And he was calling these nations dogs, man. You can hate it, love it, whatever. But for dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Jumping down to verse 18. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. This is King David, the beloved King David, prophesying about the beloved King Yahweh Shai Mashiach. This is all in the Old Testament. How about that? How about that? He comes in the volume of the whole book. Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the whole book. But that was just the other part of the dagger. So let's get to the other end of this two-edged dagger. So, you know, Yahweh Shai, as I started it off with Numbers 25. Numbers 25, 17. Numbers 25, 17. Study to show thyself approved, man. Study to show thyself approved. Rightfully dividing the word. Secular history. Another thing that you people don't do. Secular history bridges the gaps as well. Numbers, Numbers 17. Numbers 25. Numbers 25. Numbers 25, verse 17. It says, I shall see him, but not now. It says, I shall behold him, but not nigh. It says, there shall come a star out of Jacob. Who is that star? This is the same thing spoken of technically in Revelations chapter 12, where it talks about the woman, 12 stars, and the man child, etc., etc. All prophesied in Numbers in the Old Testament, proving that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in the Old Testament. He's in the volume of the whole book. I come in the volume of the whole book. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, out of Jacob. You 13 tribes, if you're including the tribe of Dan, but the 12 tribes. It says, and a scepter, which is rulership, authority. It says, shall rise out of Israel, the 12 tribes, and shall smite the corners of Moab, the other nations, but specifically Moab, the Moabites. And we believe that Moab is the Chinese. That's who Moab is. That is his ancestor, the Moabite Moab. It says, and destroy the children of Sheth. It says, in Edom, Esau, which is another nation. And we know by secular history, spiritual anointment, that Esau and all of these nations, man, we know that we know Edom specifically is the Caucasian. He is the ancestors of the Caucasian, the red people, if you will. It says, and Edom should be a possession. Mount Seir also should be a possession, for his enemies in Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob, which represents the 12 tribes, shall come he, which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that shall have dominion, which is that 1,000-year kingdom and beyond, the rulership, the King of Kings. Every tongue will confess, every knee will bow. And guess what? He's a black man. He's a black man. They hate that part. They hate it. They hate that part, don't they? It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. It says Amalek, which is Esau, which is the chief tribe. Just like you have the chief tribe of Judah. You have Judah, which is the chief tribe of Israel. You have Amalek, which is the chief tribe of Edom. It says Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And you got to understand why Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai feels this way. Because Esau he's the devil, man. He's the villain of this movie. You know, these are the scriptures. The scriptures, man, and this is a movie. Everybody is playing out their lot. Everybody has a role to fulfill in this movie. Well, I want Revelations 19. Revelations 19. And you can do secular history, man. The secular history adds up. The biblical history adds up. Everything adds up, man. Everything adds up. Revelations 19. Revelations 19 verse 10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So who has the spirit of prophecy? Those that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And I'm not going to be too long with this. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's grab Isaiah. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63 is another telltale prophecy, but Revelations. Daniel chapter 7, verse 14. It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. And this is going into Hamashiach, Yahushai's kingdom, that 1,000-year and beyond kingdom that he's going to fulfill through prophecy. Daniel 7:18, it says, but the saints of Yahweh. Who are the saints? The saints is the Israelites. The saints is the election. That's who the saints are. It says, but the saints of the Most High of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever. So that's the rulership of the kingdom of heaven, man. It's going to be established on earth. And there's many precepts that speaks about the reestablishment, the rebuilding of the kingdom that's going to be here on earth. You know, you got Isaiah chapter 2 that speaks of the rebuilding. You got Isaiah 60, Isaiah 49, Amos 9, 11, and 12. All of the prophets spoke of the reestablishment of the kingdom that's going to be established on earth when Yahushai HaMashiach returns. You know, this is called future eschatology. Future eschatology. You should look up that word, eschatology. That's future eschatology. It says Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So it's going to be more than just 1,000 years. It's going to be forever. Daniel 7:22. It says, until the Ancient of Days came, and we know who the Ancient of Days is. If you're the Ancient of Days, that means you're not bound by time. You are outside of time. So we know that's Yahweh, the Father. It says, the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Daniel 7. What is it? Daniel 7:27. Daniel 7:27, it says, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom. So this kingdom that's going to be established in the near future eschatology. It says, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints. What people have the saints? It's the nation, the people of Israel. That's the only nation that has the saints. You know, the Vatican, the Russian icons, those are the saints. Saint Nicholas, Saint this, Saint Pierre, Saint this, Saint the saints. It's the Voronet icons, the Russian icons. The Israelites, you are the nation that possess the saints. So this kingdom, this is the future kingdom. It says, in the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, Saint Paul, Saint Thomas, Saint James, the saints. It says, in the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Indians, you tribes of Israel. It says, of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions That's all the nations, man. All these Gentile nations. All dominions shall serve and obey him, which is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So that's just what it is, man. You can't get around these biblical prophecies. The thing is, you see, prophecy is prophecy. You don't hate us. You're not mad at us. You're mad at God. You hate God, you're mad at God. Because that's is his words. It's not our words. Daniel 2:44. Daniel 2:44. What is that? Daniel chapter 2, verse 44 says, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Those are the other Gentile nations, the heathen nations. In the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, who is the God of heaven? That is the Ancient of Days, the Father of spirits, man. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, according to Sirach 1 and 8, according to Sirach 18, 1 and 3. And the days of these, it says, in the days of these kingdoms shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, the Gentile nations, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that's just what it is, man. You devils hate the truth. You hate God's word. And that's just what it is. We're just the prophets. We're just the messengers. We're just the apostles. We're just the true scholars. You're mad. You're really mad at Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's who you're mad at. You hate the truth of God. You hate the word of God. But I'm not going to make this long, man. With that, I'm going to say, Kah halam la Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Kadash. Forever kingdom. And Yahweh Shai is in the Old Testament. He is everywhere, man. He's the volume of the book. What is the testimony of Yahweh Shai? It is the spirit of prophecy.